Welcome to the one-day-a-week college orientation. I'm Shirley Montovani, an educator coach here for our One Day Women.
Well, actually, there's both of us. That's Shirley, and this is myself. I'm Diane Rinehart. I'm the online support administrator, so I help our women coming online and also in the Saturday program as well. So welcome.
So these are some key people that you can get to know and you can reach out to them. There's their contact information there. And just as a side note, we will be sending a copy of this orientation, and it's also available on the portal. So again, just some pictures of some key people, financial aid and registrar and myself. So we're going to just go right into some policies, one being the attendance policy. So the main takeaway from this policy is that you cannot miss the first day of class. So if you're taking a Saturday class, you have to actually physically be in class and have your pre-assignment to hand in. And I'm going to let Diane elaborate on the online class, but again, the main takeaway is you cannot miss the first day of class.
Yeah, and Shirley would explain it. I mean, this is a 6-week accelerated program, so missing 1 week is really like missing several weeks in a more traditional program. So in reference to the online class, now we start our online classes on Thursday, so it's actually before the Saturday. So September 10th is the official first day of class. But what we need you to have done before that day is to have participated in the class prior to, so it might be participating in an icebreaker. It'll generally say pre-class assignment. So just do whatever is in your class pre-class. It doesn't have to be done on the day, but it needs to be done prior to or no later than that day, or else they would drop you from that class, and Shirley can explain potentially that they would drop you from the institution.
Which you'll want to just make sure you're staying in contact with your advisor and the instructors to let us know what's going on. And always check your BayPath email. If you want to read more, access the attendance policy, there's hyperlinks within this presentation, so you can always click on these links. So you're probably wondering, well, what happens for the rest of the 5 weeks? What if I miss a class after the first class? So there's an active engagement policy that was developed in conjunction with this attendance policy to address this concern. So while there's not a policy that you can't miss any of the subsequent days, know that there is the active engagement policy is grading your participation. So it's part of it's 30% of your grade each week. Again, the active engagement policy link is right there to the left, and you can read more about it. It's also in your syllabus, and if you want any more explanation, you can contact your advisor. So what if there's a late assignment and something happens and you have to hand something in late? The policy this is the official policy, but I always will stress to reach out to the instructor and just maintain that open communication, and always let your advisor know what's going on too. But the official policy is that all late work will suffer a 10% grade deduction, and possibly anything 4 days late may not be accepted. So before I go into another lengthy policy, just as Diane said, it's 6 weeks, it's accelerated, so just maintain that open communication. Another thing is our satisfactory academic progress policy. So this slide and the next slide goes into detail about the federal guidelines and also the institution policy. The main takeaway is that you have to maintain a certain minimum of a 2.0 GPA and also pass at least 75% of all attempted classes. And again, it's an institution policy as well as for the federal government that's providing financial aid. But the main points to consider as a student is check your BayPath email regularly. You always want to be aware of important dates if you need to withdraw from a class and to avoid that F. And also, if you're overwhelmed with two classes every 6 weeks is a lot. You might want to reduce your course load. And I will recommend this, or whoever your advisor is will recommend this, if you were put on a satisfactory academic progress plan. Remember to always communicate with your instructors and utilize the free tutoring services. This can really help alleviate any stress and help you pass the courses. Communicate with your advisor right away if there's anything that you're dealing with, and also the instructor. But know that if you accumulate too many withdrawals, W's, or F's, and you fail to comply with a satisfactory academic plan, it will ultimately result in your dismissal from the university and possibly ineligibility for financial aid.
Well, boy, Shirley, thanks for all that. That is just great. So if we haven't quite scared you away, we're going to try to now. We're going to explain term-ology, because as we've both mentioned, this is 6-week sessions. So we're actually showing here on the screen the start dates, the end dates, the days off, drop deadlines, some really important deadlines for the classes. Now this will help you with planning, because as you think about it, if you know that you're going to be on vacation at a certain period of time and you won't be available for the Saturday start, maybe you take an online class that time. So just some things to think about. So this is actually our term-ology, because we do have both a fall and a spring semester, but within there are 3 6-week sessions in each semester. So you can see that. So session 1, 2, and 3, that's our fall semester. And then the spring 2016 semester, 1, 2, and 3. So that would explain term-ology pretty well, would you say?
It is. And note that this is a snapshot of the full sheet, but you're given this at orientation. It's accessible on the portal. You can ask your advisor for it. But again, it's a good planning tool, and we will be sending reminders about these dates as well. So again, just check your BayPath email.
Yeah, because there's going to come times where you register for your classes before the fall and spring semesters as well. So the first time it'll be done for you, but going forward, so this really helps with planning, like you say, your schedule, knowing when you may be away, knowing when you may need to take an online class because you're not going to be around. So good little planning tool.
So what should you do now? We're giving you the tools now to access the portal in Canvas. So you want to get comfortable with it and practice. Access your syllabus. So your syllabus will always be available at least 10 days before your class starts. So know that you can access that and get all information you'll need. You can get your books. So if you don't have access to your syllabus right now, you can also contact the bookstore. So the bookstore will have a list of all books that you need for each class. You can begin those pre-class assignments. If you're taking a class on campus, it'll be due that first Saturday. And if you're taking one online, it'll be due on or before that first Thursday. And just make sure you have access to a computer, and always, always, always check your BayPath email.
Yeah, your BayPath email is the college's main way of communicating with you. So you're going to get some stuff that doesn't apply to you, but be sure, because there's going to be really important stuff from Shirley or your other advisor, financial aid. So really be sure to check that almost daily.
So just some times when the classes are run. So if you're taking a class on campus in Longmeadow, the morning session runs from 7:30 to 12:30. There's a lunch from 12:30 to 1:15, and then the afternoon session. You want to keep in mind just to get here early. Parking can sometimes be tough, but as long as you get here early, you won't be rushing. Get a cup of coffee. Get a good night's sleep on Friday, and review all materials for classes. But at the same time, relax and enjoy yourself. We want you to meet people and network and just enjoy this time.
Okay, so online, when do classes begin? Well, your classes begin, in theory, as soon as you have access to your classes. As Shirley was mentioning, it's about 10 days before the class sessions will start. So almost 10 days before, you should expect to see the classroom show up in Canvas. Without a doubt, you want to do your readings in advance, because you're going to have a discussion that you need to participate in by Thursday. So you need to put your original post up by Thursday. So that's the first assignment being due on Thursday, and then other assignments are due on Saturday. So those are going to be discussion replies to your classmates, and it could be a paper or a quiz. The great thing with online learning is that you can do them ahead of time. You don't have to do them on Thursday or on Saturday. You can do them on Monday. You can do them on Wednesday. You can do them at all different times of the day. Maybe you have a half-hour lunch that you can devote to it. So those are all the great things with online learning, in the sense that you can really fit it to your schedule, and you can do them ahead of time so that you're prepared and can really manage your own schedule a little bit better.
So some proven skills to master, and this is feedback that we've gotten from other one-day women. Time management has to be probably the #1 challenge. So a couple suggestions is don't wait until the day before to begin a weekly assignment. And if you're taking 2 classes, you may want to consider splitting up the week. Delegate. Don't expect to be able to do everything. If people are offering to help, take it. And know that it's just going to take some time to get back in the swing of things, but it will happen. And also be flexible. Be willing to accept anything less than perfection. And if you haven't been back to school in a long time, it's just going to take some time to get a schedule down.
Yeah, and this is a 6-week accelerated schedule. I know you've heard that a couple of times, but it is different. You do need to really focus on time management, and I'm more than happy to share tips and tricks with you, things such as using your Google Calendar and things like that to really help you kind of plan your life better and think about it in a really proactive manner.
So what if you need help? The tutoring here is free, and you can get help with all subjects, and even Canvas or Microsoft Office. It's available on campus or online, and also via phone and email. And don't forget about your classmates. Help each other. Women helping women. And for more information, you can click on this link, and it'll give you information about our tutoring here. And don't be afraid to ask for help. That's what it's here for, and we want to help and see you succeed.
Yeah, I would actually even stop using the word tutoring and call it resources, because in fairness, it really is. It's a way of showing you if you are struggling with something, they will provide you with resources that you then need to use and go forward with, but they will help you. So use them as a resource center. And if it's a technology related thing, feel free to use myself as a technology resource as well.
So to be successful on Saturdays, or if you're taking a class online, or both, so you just want to be cognizant of not missing class or a posting or assignment, even though it may seem like I don't know how I'm going to make the time. The time is there, and you want to make sure you put that first. Participate. It can be very rewarding to participate. Get the help if you need it. Use your advisor, and know all policies. And know that it's not all lecture in the classroom or online, which Diane can elaborate on, but there'll be a mix of things. It's homework review, discussions, videos, presentations, and tests.
Yeah, so I always like to talk about the online thing and explain that, in essence, what you do in your classrooms on Saturdays are pretty much what you'll do in an online environment too. You're going to participate in a discussion. The difference is you're not talking, you're actually typing your posts in advance. Instead of watching a YouTube video in class or doing a PowerPoint presentation, you download them on your computer. You take tests through the computer. So the activities are really the same. The biggest difference is when you do them and the fact that you really need to be self-motivated. That's probably the one thing that, as much as time management is the overarching concern for most people, self-motivation is the online learner's biggest tool to have in their tool belt to make sure that you're prepared, because no one's asking you for it. You need to be proactive with that.
So some expectations of students, and this should all go without saying, but we'd like to just remind everybody, just be respectful of classmates in discussions. Everyone's going to have different opinions, but just be respectful of each other. Same goes for instructors. Be mindful that this is not only an educational environment, but also a professional environment. And think about how you would behave in the workplace. And know that whether it's your classmates or instructors, these could be people that you are networking with to find a job opportunity. Be professional when writing discussions and messages on Canvas. Be professional when writing emails to instructors and classmates and other staff within BayPath. And if you're facing any type of issue with a course, contact us right away and we can help you. So there's also another policy called the academic integrity policy, and this is basically around plagiarism, and it's taken very seriously at BayPath and other institutions as well. And while it can be tempting, you just want to be true to yourself, make good decisions, and know that it can also be done without even realizing it. So utilize all your resources that are available to you in Canvas and given to you in the classes.
Yep, so again, here's the link for the policy. One of the big things I think I want to make sure you understand, and you're all going to be enrolled into EXT 097, the ITEL course, Introduction to Technology Enhanced Learning, because one of the things that's changed maybe since you've been going to school is that we actually have technology that can run your papers through a database to see if they match others. So that's called Turnitin. And within that class, I actually ask you to plagiarize because I want you to see that this technology does exist and your instructors will be using it, just so you know whenever it's presented to you that you feel comfortable with that. Because one of the best things to do, there's nothing saying you can't use someone else's work. The important thing is to realize you just simply need to cite it properly. You need to give attribution to the author of the work. You do that, you're going to be all set. So just think about it that way. There's nothing wrong with using someone else's ideas. You just can't take them as being your own. That's the big thing.
And there will be resources given to you in classes, as well as the tutors, the library, and things of that nature. So what to do next? So you want to make sure that all your financial aid paperwork is completed, and if you have any remaining balance, to pay that bill. Submit the immunization. So if you're taking a class on campus, it's a Massachusetts state law that you complete these immunizations, and you can ask your either admissions counselor or advisor about that information if you're unsure. You want to access and review your syllabus. So again, 10 days before the class starts, you should have access to it. Order your books, which you can find in the bookstore if you don't have access to your syllabus yet. Your student ID and parking pass. So you only really need this if you're taking classes on campus, but information will be available to you at orientation, also on the portal, or you can ask your advisor. Check your BayPath Gmail account. There's also ability to download it to your phone, but again, I cannot stress the importance of checking this email, and having it on your phone may be easier to manage. Know that anything coming from financial aid, your advisor, the registrar, you definitely want to be checking. Schedule an appointment with your advisor to go over your credits that transferred and what you have left, put a graduation plan together. And if you're receiving a hold message, don't panic. It's very common. Just call Student Financial Services and they can help you resolve and find out what you still need.
Yeah, because you will actually see that hold message in Canvas. And just because it's showing up, I mean, obviously we need you to resolve it. It could be financial, it could be the immunizations, it could be many different things. But just because you're getting it doesn't mean you can't participate in your classes. So even if you see that, still be sure to participate, because we do have that attendance policy. Oh, what great timing. Remember me?
So we're not, trying to scare you with all these policies. It's just that it's very, very important. And again, because it's an accelerated 6-week course, there's so much you can miss from that first day. So it's really, really important not only, to be there for the information and be successful in the class, but it's also part of the attendance policy. So I'm sure there's lots of questions. We've gathered some frequently asked questions, and the answers to them are available on this Longmeadow campus portal, which is accessible through the link. Any advising questions as far as your schedule, your degree audit, can be directed to your academic advisor or educator coach. This person's name will be on the portal on your degree audit and your schedule, and you can access it through the student portal link. Anything regarding financial aid or billing can be directed to Student Financial Services, and the student ID and parking pass information can be also accessed through this link as well.
All right, well, so we want to thank you so much for this time and attention, and we look forward to seeing you. If you have any questions, always feel free to be in touch. This is Diane, and I'll see you down the road. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm proud to have you here at BayPath University.
Thank you. Have a great day.